Nissan GTRs, Toyota Supras, Evos, STIs, and Mazda's RX-7 are universally known as tuner gods. But most are trading hands for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So what if you want a tuner legend like one of these, but you don't have the budget?
Well, you've come to the right place because today on Idealist, we're gonna show you 8 of the best tuner cars for less than $6,000, and one that can be built to keep up with the Bugatti.
Let's get into it.
Well, wouldn't you agree? These days we seem to be doing a bunch more online shopping. And well, that's where today's sponsor, Honey, is something you need to be using. It's the free internet browser extension and really my online saving sidekick. It automatically scours the internet for promotional codes to give you discounts wherever you like to shop. It already works for the things you're already buying. And it's so easy to install with just 2 clicks, and you'll be able to use it on lots of your favorite websites. And how easy is it to use? Well, it just pops up at checkout and asks if you want to apply coupons. And it's really that simple to save money. It seriously starts searching for coupon codes automatically and works on all types of websites. And all you gotta do is hit the accept and you'll save money. Everything from auto parts websites, gaming websites, tech websites, literally everything. So if you have a computer, Honey needs to be on it. Just go to joinhoney.com/idealmedia. That's joinhoney.com/idealmedia. And be sure to download it because we have it on all our computers here at Ideal. And thank you, Honey, for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to the best tuner cars ever.
What's the most widely renowned best tuner car engine? It's the 2JZ, duh.
And the cheapest and maybe even the best way to get into the legendary 2JZ is with a Lexus IS300. While the IS300 might be the cheapest way to get yourself into a 2J, we don't really understand why. Because it might just be better than the Supra. Sure, it was only offered as a naturally aspirated version, but strap a turbo on it and you've got yourself one hell of a rocket ship.
An IS300 might not be as cool as a Supra, but it's still got legendary underpinnings for a whole lot less dinero. That's a win in my book.
Not only is the IS cheaper, but it's also lighter than a Supra. And unlike some of the cars on this list, the IS is as reliable as a Toyota. Well, because it is a Toyota. But the IS isn't just your standard people mover. It's sporty and luxurious. It looks handsome even today. And it was one of the first cars to truly rival BMW's 3 Series. And ultimately, it's cheap. Good luck finding a Supra for less than $60,000. Luckily, you can find an IS for less than 1/10 of that price. The IS is proven to be a baby 4-door Supra, but it's still not as practical as a hatchback.
So if you've got to have a hatch and tunability and you're willing to give up rear-wheel drive, well, you've got to get yourself a Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Volkswagen's GTI has been around for generations, and that's for a good reason too, because the GTI is proven to be cheap, sporty, and reliable each and every time. From the VR6 to the EA888 or even the 110 horsepower 1.6 liter in the original Mark I GTI.
Almost, key word here, almost every engine ever fitted to a GTI is well made and overall pretty reliable.
The GTI is a name synonymous with handling. Throw on a set of coilovers and beefier anti-roll bars, and it'll see you nipping at the times of Miatas and Minis at your local autocross. But straight out of the box, the GTI will make any owner feel like a race car driver on the twisties. Whether you choose a manual or the awesome DSG with those signature DSG farts you get on upshift.
Either transmission will transform your family hauler into a weekend warrior. The GTI is truly a jack of all trades. And honestly, it's my go-to recommendation. Not many cars can do everything quite as well as this little hatch.
Fill it with your family and load the trunk full of groceries. Flash a tune to it quick and you'll still smoke supercars.
Okay, with a tune alone, you're slaying supercars maybe from the 80s. You'll need a bit more to do that.
While upgrades might cost a bit more than some of the other cars on this list, When you can pick up a GTI like this one for under $5,000, you'll probably have some money left over for mods. After you get outstanding maintenance and repairs up to date, of course. So why even get another car when the GTI can be your only one, as it's both fun and practical? The only reason I can think that you'd need another car would be if you live near snow. The front-wheel drive GTI might not cut it. Although, a good set of winter tires and proper driving beg to differ. But a Subaru WRX definitely would. Unlike the GTI, the WRX has all-wheel drive standard. This makes the WRX perfect for all-weather conditions. The WRX hit the stage after debuting with Group A rally in mind, powered by the legendary but sometimes infamous EJ engine. The WRX is one of the best paths to tunability.
It's as practical as the GTI too.
Because it's offered in both sedan or wagon form, from stance to rally, the WRX does it all.
There's a damn good reason it's the choice of many, many enthusiasts.
In base form, the WRX doesn't put down overly impressive numbers, but tune it and do a few supporting mods, you've got yourself a ripper. I'm talking 300 plus wheel horsepower, and that's plenty to go out and pass Porsches. But if you blow the budget and build the motor, the sky's the limit. Thanks to the aftermarket support, you can truly make any WRX your own, from time attack track weapon to Sand Slayer, or even a bagged boy.
Your creativity and budget can determine your build. Speaking of budget, you can pick up a clean WRX for just over $4,900. Just remember to save a few bucks extra for some of the EJ's potential shortcomings. If all-wheel drive isn't your jam and you want something maybe a little smaller, then a Mini Cooper S might just be your best choice.
Minis are known for their killer handling, but not many people know that they're actually pretty tunable too. There is something about the small size that makes it super tossable on the twisties. It's the definition of a pocket rocket in car form.
Or maybe that's the Brabus smart car.
They handle like they're on rails, but this list is all about tuning potential. Throw in a tune and a pulley, and this thing screams.
No, that's not a Hellcat. That's actually a Mini Cooper S.
That scream comes thanks to its Eaton M45 supercharger and the Mini's beefy 1.6 liter four-cylinder. They only put out about 168 brake horsepower.
But the Mini packs a much bigger punch than you'd expect.
Pair it with a manual and you've got one of the best driving experiences for the price. Throw on a tune, pulley, intake, and exhaust, and you're sitting at right around 200 horsepower.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but a 200 horsepower Mini absolutely rips.
And for less than $4,000, you can find yourself a clean Mini ready to be tuned. If your budget allows it, you can spend a bit more for a turbo model, and then you can get even more power. But the supercharged model is the one that's slept on. A built motor is good for 300 plus horsepower, but Minis aren't really known to be the most reliable. Luckily, our friends over at Honda build a car called the Civic. A Civic is probably the first car you'd think of when it comes to cheap potential speed. But if you didn't know any better, a Civic might just look like a cheap commuter.
But you and I know better.
From simple mods to complex swaps, a Civic is ready for whatever you want to throw at it.
You heard of VTEC? It's Honda's secret sauce that allows cars to have low RPM efficiency and high RPM performance.
And if you pair a punchy VTEC equipped engine with a turbocharger, the result is a 10-second car.
Okay, a big turbo and a bunch of supporting mods. You're welcome, Dom.
And speaking of Dominic Toretto, even he knew how solid Civics were, and so he ran some too. And he probably purchased them for less than $5,000, like you and I can today. While $5,000 might seem like a lot to fork over for a 20-plus-year-old economy car, how about saving some cash and getting yourself a newer luxury car? If that's the case, then a BMW E46 is the answer. You've probably heard us a lot saying the E46 is the way to go.
But that's for good reason.
You can find an E46 in nearly all types of motorsports, from drifting to drag racing, and of course, spec racing. The E46 is a solid choice for any enthusiast. Thanks to the aftermarket support, E46s can be tuned to the moon. From suspension upgrades to turbo kits, an E46 can be tailored exactly to your driving style.
Thanks to a vast range of models, the E46 can be had in almost any combo you'd like.
From coupes, convertibles, wagons, hatchbacks, and obviously sedans, you get your choice of an auto-tragic or manual transmission, with engine variants that range from a measly 103 horsepower found in the 316i to the Mac Daddy of them all, the 3.2-liter S54 found in the M3, which is good for 333 horsepower. But the best for a budget has gotta be a 330i, with the M54 pumping out 225 horses, because you can pick those up for under $4,000.
While the M54 is punchy, it's definitely no V8. So if you gotta have a V8, a Mustang might just be your best option.
The Mustang has gained an undeniable reputation all across the world.
No, not that reputation. It's best known as the people's ponies car.
The Mustang offers your average Joe cheap performance that rivals sports cars double its price. The powerful 2-valve V8 in the GT is a great option to kill your tires, not just crowds.
Sorry, Mustang owners.
If you can regulate your right foot on the skinny pedal, the SN95 Mustang might just be the best car that you ever own. Since it's a cheap pony car, the Mustang can be modified however you'd like. And since they've been produced since 1964 and a half, chances are you'll be able to find a style that suits your tastes. Ford has built over 10 million Mustangs and landed itself atop a platform of American icons along with Elvis and the Super Bowl. The Mustang can't be killed, but since they've made so many Mustangs, they are cheap, and you can pick up a GT with its brawny V8 for less than $4,000. The thing about the Mustang is that it isn't really a traditional tuner car, but a B5S4 sure is. The B5S4 is more practical than the Mustang too, as it has enough seats to bring your friends along. The 2.7-liter turbo V6 comes with 250 horsepower stock.
But these motors live for more boost. Throw in a tune, some catless downpipes, and a few more quick mods for a solid 300 plus wheel horsepower. Build that, and you'll be keeping up with proper Autobahn assaulters.
But if you send it with bigger turbos and fueling mods, well, you're in the neighborhood of over 500 wheel horsepower. If you full send it with a built motor, 1,000 horsepower is totally achievable. And some have built it to over 1,500. Watch it line up against the benchmark of hypercars, a Bugatti Chiron.
Yeah, you just saw that S4 beat a Chiron. That's insane!
There must be some special sauce that Audi sprinkled into these in order to make them so tunable. All that being said, these cars are known for being reliability nightmares, and a lot of shops won't even work on them anymore. So keep that in mind, and make sure you set aside a few extra grand for repairs. Luckily though, you'll have a few grand left over, seeing as you can pick up a decent S4 today for well under $7,500.
But I bet if you use the ideal car strategies, you could get yourself an S4 or any other ideal car on this list for under $5,000. Okay, that's our ideal list for cheap cars with insane tuning potential. Which one are you shelling your cash out for? For us, if mod money was no object, I'd have to go with the S4 for its sheer availability to produce insane power. Or maybe we'd go the more sensible route and go Golf GTI. Come to think of it, I've always wanted an IS. They're all decent choices, depending on what you're looking to get out of it. Let us know if we missed anything in the comments down below. Go check out some other Idealist videos right over here, or click right here to watch whatever YouTube thinks is best for you. I'm Trav, this has been Ideal, and I'll catch you all in the next one.